Hello everyone, welcome to the syllabus quiz information video. I'm Dr. Rhonda Kofelt and I will be your guide this semester. These are for sections W02 and W04 this semester at Calhoun. These are my contact information, the room number where I am. I'm at the Huntsville campus, my phone number, my email address, and these are my office hours for this summer. Make sure that you have at least had Math 098 or an 18 ACT math score, or your Accuplacer scores are there for you as well. You do need to know some math because there is some calculations. I do show you how to do those as we go through, but if you haven't had them before, it kind of makes for a little difficulty for you. This is a survey course, and that means that it is not a general chemistry course like Chemistry 111. It can't be substituted for that, and it is also not going to be accepted for like majors and things like that. So if you need majors level chemistry, this is a good introduction, but it is not going to transfer for you. The textbook and online resources are here. You can get those from the bookstore. You can also purchase the code directly online from McGraw-Hill. There is a bundle that includes a loose leaf text. You can just buy the code with or without the e-text. The e-text can be helpful, but I do provide slides for that information, so you do have bulletized information of what's in the book. It's just a little harder to find it. There is a lab component for this course. In the lab component, you will be doing virtual online labs. That's also included in that packet that you purchase in the Connect. And so those are provided, and there's a couple labs that we will do that are not in that, but I do give you those and give you complete instructions on how to complete those. So your homework is in Connect, and that's this software package. Your lab assignments, your homework assignments, there's extra practice areas that you can do in Connect, but you can't pass the course without signing up for this. That's unfortunately the reality of it. And so it's an online course and it requires some online information. Once you go into the course, you will see a Connect button and you can go on there and register. You'll also have PowerPoint study guides. I have outlines, and then I have some PDF copies of the slides themselves. And so if you need to go through those will help you stay focused on the chapter, and it also has bulleted information for you there. If you're a reader, writer, learner, then you should probably read the book. If not, then I have these for you for, those more visual folks. You do need computer access for this course. It's an online course, so when you sign up for that, you've got to understand you have got to have a connection. To get into Blackboard, which you probably already are if you're watching this, then those are the instructions in case you need to write those down for later. If you have any problems, okay, in Blackboard or videos or anything like that, you can call the help desk. You can please reach out to me first if you can, but don't wait a whole week before you get that resolved because you're going to get behind. Summer goes really quickly. You do need a scientific calculator, so you can have like a TI-30XS, which is what a lot of people get. They're not that expensive. A TI-8384 if you're going to have classes where you might need those for them. The libraries are a great resource. That's the online access to it. And then, of course, on ground, if you want to come onto campus, then there are libraries at Decatur and also at the Huntsville campus. This is a traditional class. These are your course outcomes. You're expected to have 70% proficiency when you complete this to have actually passed the course. However, you can make a D in this course, but it typically will not transfer. We're going to cover 10 chapters, and those start with matter and measurement and end up with nuclear chemistry. And so we do a survey of all of these topics of chemistry. Grading. 60% of your grade is going to be from exams. There are 2 chapter exams per unit, and there are 10 chapter exams so that means there are 5 units, and so those are 60% of your grade. Then 20% of your grade is going to be your labs that are found on LearnSmart, and 15% of your grade are your LearnSmart homework assignments from there, and 5% are your discussions. Don't blow off these discussions. 50 points is a half a letter grade, okay? So if you would have had a B at 850 points and you did all your discussions, you'd have 900 points and you would get your A. Nothing's given, okay? And you darn sure don't get anything given to you if you don't do all the assignments. I also keep up with your attendance through the discussions. This is your grading scale. It's typical. 90 to 100% is an A, 80 to 89.9 is a B, etc. If you have completed your assignments and done all your discussions and you're a little bit close on this, then I will consider that, okay? Grades are posted in Blackboard. Those are the grades you're going to go by because they're going to include your exam grades as well as your mastering grades. They will automatically sync from the Connect homework and labs after the due date. So if you're not seeing them appear, sometimes they won't appear until after the due date. I'll give you some tentative schedule dates and due dates under the Syllabus tab in Blackboard. There are 5 basic due dates throughout the semester, 1 for each of the 5 units. So you're going to do homework and you're going to do labs in your Connect software, and those are going to prepare you for your exams. So your exams and your discussions are in Blackboard. When you get ready to take an exam, and those will be at the end of the unit, okay, when you go to like Unit 1, you'll go through all of the things step by step, and then when you get to the end, you'll see Unit 1 exam. Don't click on that until you're ready to take that exam, because once you start that exam, that's it. It's going to be timed, and it's got to be in one setting, and you're either going to be in the testing center or you're going to be on a web proctoring software, which I'll talk about in just a second. Two options. You can go either to Huntsville or Decatur to the testing center and take these exams, or you can, from the comfort of your own home in your pajamas, as long as you're covered up, take these exams using web proctoring, and I'll show you how that's done in another video. And those are located in Blackboard. All assignments must be completed by Friday, August 3rd if you're testing in the testing center, or Sunday, August 10th if you are web proctoring. Notice that you get 2 extra days for doing those from home because the testing center is not open on weekends, and so they also close at noon on Fridays, so you're kind of a slave to the testing center when you do that, whereas you can finish everything up over the weekend if you're doing that from home. Your assignments for each chapter, you're going to be assigned a reading assignment, okay, from LearnSmart. So that's going to be 1 grade. So you'll have a reading assignment grade. Then you'll have LearnSmart labs, okay? So you'll have LearnSmart, and then you'll have what's called graded homework, and then you'll have a LearnSmart lab. So there are 3 things you do in the Connect software. And then once you're ready, then you are prepared and you take your exam in Blackboard. You're also going to have 1 discussion per unit, and I'll have some suggested times to have those done. If you're not logging into Blackboard and checking where I'm leaving announcements or sending emails, then you are going to miss something, and it can get you in trouble quick in the summer, because remember, we only have 10 weeks in the summer. By the way, you can work ahead if you want to. I leave them open. They have due dates, okay, but I leave them open so you can work ahead if you want to, but you cannot turn things in after the due date. Attendance in the course is for all courses online at Calhoun are recorded within the first week of class. You must submit a syllabus quiz by June 3rd at midnight. And you also must purchase your code and register for Connect. Now, one of the options for Connect, if you're buying it through McGraw-Hill, is a free 2-week trial. You can do that if you're waiting on a paycheck or something like that. Go ahead and get it as soon as you can. It will hold your grades and everything so that when you actually purchase the code, you can put that in there and all your grades will come over and it'll keep all that stuff. After the first week, your attendance is pretty much based on what you're doing in the course. If you're logging in and doing things, if you're completing the discussion, talking to other students, talking to me, that's how we gauge that afterwards. Okay. If you are not going to be able to commit to the course, I strongly encourage you to withdraw from the course because otherwise you're probably going to get an F. Hate giving those, I'll just tell you. But if you don't withdraw, I don't have any choice. Sometimes, though, withdrawals can affect your financial aid. So do make sure that you check with financial aid or your advisor to make sure that that's not going to negatively impact you. Sometimes for VA and things like that, it's better to take the F. Crazy, but true. The only officially excused absences recognized by the university is called up active duty military, jury duty, or a college related event such as you're on the golf team and you have to go to something and you should have some type of documentation for any of those in case it's going to impede you from completing an assignment. Makeup work will be accepted under those conditions. If you know that you're going to be out or whatever, or something happens all of a sudden, you need to try to communicate with me as soon as possible. I will allow makeup sometimes. I mean, I'm not an ogre. People have had babies and stuff during the semester, and childbirth is a recognizable excuse to me because I know I've been through it. But it's not just being sick or you were out of town. That is not an excusable absence. Okay, so just keep that in mind. If you're going to go on vacation or something, you need to work ahead. If you wait till the last minute to do an assignment and then something happens, that's when you really get in trouble. Okay. Makeup exams. Makeup exams. If you have an accepted excuse, you can reschedule, or like I said, I prefer that you take it early if possible, as long as it's done in advance. I will work with you if you're taking it before everyone else. If you miss an exam that's unexcused, it will be a 0. Okay, and so just keep that in mind because that can hurt you quick. Assignments, your Connect homework and your Learn Smart assignments, if you submit those after the due date, you'll get a 0. All right, you have to keep up, especially in the summertime. Lab, you must complete the lab or I can't transfer the course. So that means you can miss one lab, okay, or have an incomplete for that lab. But if you have an incomplete for the second lab, you can't pass the course. Now, I'll work with you sometimes if something happens, like I said, but you've got to do these labs, all right? Withdrawal policy. If you wish to withdraw, you can go online and do that yourself. If you're failing the course, or if you sometimes it's not the right time and you just know that you're not going to be able to commit because it does take some time for this course, then you need to make sure that you withdraw. Talk to your advisor, talk to financial aid, but that's usually the best course. The last day to withdraw is almost the end of the semester. It's July 23rd. During the summer. Communication. This is so important in an online course. Calhoun email is what we use. You have a Calhoun email account. If you're a registered student, you need to check it. I have it come to my phone because I don't go in and check email on computer all the time. It's very important that you do that. Make sure that you are checking those, because it's not just my stuff, but it's also financial things. Sometimes people have been dropped from a course and they don't know because they didn't check their email. So that's kind of important. I'm also going to give you something called Remind, or the option to do this. It's an optional thing, but Remind is a secure texting tool. There is an app for it, but you don't have to download the app. You can just follow the instructions I give you, and then you can text me. And what's really nice, and my students typically really like this, is that you can send me 24/7 a question about an assignment or how to do something, or you're having a problem. It's much quicker than doing email, because we've all got our phones with us, and I'm checking my text messages constantly, and it'll let me know that you are having a problem. You can take a picture of it and send it to me so I can see exactly what you're talking about, and most of the time I can help you and we can get it resolved immediately. So it's that instant gratification, as opposed to within 24 to 48 hours of getting an email back, because 24 to 48 hours is a long time when you've only got 1 week to complete all these assignments. So I strongly encourage you to sign up for this. It also allows me to do a text blast to everyone to let you know if something's coming up. And so I like to do that, if I find something that's wrong, or something like that, it's a lot faster. So there are some things that you really need to do this first week, but you're also starting the first week of your course. So again, it's just, the hazard of summer is that it's a lot faster. So there are some things you need to be aware of. If you have never done the Blackboard orientation class, you've got to do that. Okay, there is a tab on the left hand side in Blackboard that says Blackboard orientation. It's at the top. You've got to take that. It will give you a certificate. All right, and then when you go to course information, the first thing you'll see is submit your your Blackboard course certificate or whatever. Okay, when you do that, that clears you from that necessity. If you've already taken it for another Calhoun course, you can just go in and get your certificate and upload that in that Dropbox. Okay, and you definitely do not have to take it again. When you go into that course, it should already know that you've done it, and you should be able to print your certificate. Make sure you print the certificate in a form I can see. There's some kind of crazy JSP or something that is difficult for me to see, so make sure do that. This is the welcome video, and this is preparing you to take that syllabus quiz, so you're already on this. So this is the syllabus quiz is again found in course information and then course overview. Sign up for Remind and send a text. This is optional, but I highly recommend that you do this and do it soon. And that way, if you have questions, especially when you're trying to get into Connect and all that, you can shoot them to me and we can figure it out really quickly. Okay, that information is also in your course information. Register and sign up for Connect. This is an absolute must. There is a Connect tab in your Blackboard shell. It's over on the left. These main things, you'll see I have little tabs that you just click on that. It'll take you to the instructions and how to register for that. And then after you register, you can actually log in from that same site. When you're doing your assignments, though, after you've logged in registered, it's best to click on the assignment to go to Connect, because that way it knows to synchronize your results, and so your scores will directly pull over. Otherwise, I'm going to have to manually do it, and sometimes mistakes are made. The Web Proctor demo quiz, that's if you're going to Web Proctor from home and not use the testing center. Highly, highly, highly recommend that. Okay, and there is a tab that simply says Web Proctor Demo, and you click on that. Don't be intimidated by this if you're not good at web things. It's very simple. The instructions are there. When you do it, it submits it to me. I will look at it. If there's anything that you didn't do right or you need to work on, I'll give you the feedback on that, and then you'll be good to go, and then you'll know how to do it, and it's simple, simple, simple. Your introduction discussion this week is bonus. Okay, it's not part of your grade, but I do give you 5 bonus points on your first exam, and so I strongly encourage you to do that. There are some other videos that I have in there. Using Connect is just explains how to use Connect and how everything works. If you like videos, this is excellent. You really need to do this because it will take you through step by step how to do things, because if not, you're going to get frustrated because you don't know how to enter certain things into those answers. Learn Smart Labs. Doing the labs is also kind of a learning curve, so you want to watch this video. And then I have just a Navigating a Smart Book assignment. All of those are found under your course information tab, and then click on course overview. All right, and so I have all kinds of stuff in course overview, so I try to keep all that stuff in the same area for you. The required date for all this stuff is June 3rd. All right, my suggested date for as many of them as possible is May 31st, and that's because you're supposed to also be working on week 1's assignments. So it's a lot to get done this first week in summer. So just go ahead and start fast out of the gate. If you've got questions, ask them early. I will be on point, okay, and ready to answer your questions, because I know you may have a lot of questions this first week, and I am here for you. All right, you are not alone. All right, and that is it for this first assignment, your syllabus quiz. So if you want to go ahead and take that, you use your syllabus, and while you're answering the questions and everything, it's a quick quiz. You can take it multiple times, but you do need to go ahead and get that knocked out so you can get started on everything. The sooner you get this week 1 stuff done, the quicker you're going to be able to get that. This more course info is going to be let me end this. It's going to be a where you can go ahead and find out the remind things and all that, but I also have them written out for you too. So this is an optional, this next video.